What is up, FPG fam? Well, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video where in today's video we're going to be talking about who is the better choice, whether it be the Raiden Shogun or Kokomi when they have their reruns here coming relatively soon. Now, really quickly, I want to first start off by saying I truly appreciate you clicking on the video today. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having a great day. Secondly, I did also want to quickly mention that I think this is a no-brainer. And by no means is that to be disrespectful or discredit either character or disregard either character. Once again, this is just my subjective opinion on what I believe, and this is really catering more towards the beginner players, new players, free-to-play players that don't know what to do and don't have either character. Obviously, if you're a veteran, this is not catered to you. You know what to do, you know what you're doing, but I do encourage you or implore you to go in the comment section down below, provide some of your wisdom, help these new players out or free-to-play players make a wise decision. But once again, I don't mean to disrespect either character or disregard either one. I say it's a no-brainer because I really think it is. That's just my honest opinion. I'm being transparent with you. I think if you don't have either character, my quick answer is the Raiden Shogun. But we'll go more in depth on the reason why. I'll give more detailed information on why I think that. We'll talk about both characters here pretty extensively. Now, let's start out with Kokomi. Right, Kokomi is a fantastic character. She is phenomenal. She has a lot of great utility. She's Hydro, so we know that means she's more on the supporting side, but she's very well rounded in the aspect that she can do more than just support, as she can actually do some pretty decent damage as well if built correctly. And the great thing about Kokomi is she has a dedicated artifact set that really rose her stock. That's one thing that I like about Kokomi, is that her stock, ever since her release, has been ever rising, and I think she's been one of the characters whose stocks have been rising the most, and probably at the greatest speed, because she's been getting more things to help her out. And I think people are really starting to understand how this character works, and I think people are really unlocking her full potential. Once again, Kokomi's a fantastic character, but the reason why I would choose the Raiden Shogun is because she's the Raiden Shogun, and the Raiden Shogun is just that good. If Kokomi was up against just about any other character outside of the Raiden Shogun, then I might say go for her. But like I mentioned, Kokomi has a lot of good things going for her. She's Hydro, so she can proc a lot of really good reactions. Obviously, some of the best reactions in the game. She fits on so many different teams comps because of that reason. You have the freeze, you have the taser, the vape. One of the great things about Kokomi is she can apply the Hydro very effectively. The thing is that Kokomi can do a lot of really good things, but you have characters in the game that can do similar things with her as well, and it makes it very difficult for me to suggest you use your intertwined fates and primo gems on a character where you have other characters in the game that can do what she does pretty effectively to the same degree. I think the only reason why you would go for Kokomi is because you absolutely love this character, you love her design, you love her gameplay, you love what she's bringing to the table. Outside of that, I don't think you pull this character because of her utility and what she's doing skill and kit wise, if that makes sense. She looks great, she's a fantastic character, and I think that's the reason why you pull her. But outside of that, what is she really doing, right? She's applying the Hydro, which we already established other characters can apply the Hydro as effectively as her. Now, she may do it the best, but there's other characters that can do it just as well, or at least comparable. The other thing that she's doing is she's healing. Well, we do have other healers in the game, Barbara being a staunch comparison to her, so you have that as well. And she's able to tank really well. That's one of the great things that I like about Kokomi, is she's a tank, right? Because you build her with max HP, healing bonus, and all of that good stuff. So she's going to tank hits, and she's going to be able to dish it out because she can do damage. That's the one thing that has Kokomi stand out, is that she can do a lot of different things. She's not put into this box where she's only a healer, or she's only a damage dealer, or she's only a tank, right? She can kind of combine all those things and do each of them really, really well, and that's the one thing that has Kokomi stand out from the others. But the thing is that, is it really necessary? Is it really needed? Is it really worth your intertwined fates and primo gems to spend on her? Me personally, once again, my subjective opinion is I don't think so. I don't think it's necessarily worth. She's a great character. She'll definitely boost your account. She'll definitely help out. She'll definitely do a lot of good things for you. But I just don't think she's necessary, right? Because you have other characters that can heal. You have other characters that can tank. You have other characters that can do damage. Kokomi just kind of combines those things into one. but it's just not really that necessary in my opinion, right? So once again, if you're trying to decide between Kokomi and the Raiden Shogun, I have to go with the Raiden Shogun. And the reason being is because the Raiden Shogun is just that good of a character. Even at C0, I know there has been some controversy. A lot of people saying that at C0 she's not good. That can be the furthest from the truth. She is extremely good at C0. She just becomes much better at C2. She becomes extremely well-rounded at C2, because I know that's what everybody talks about. But at C0, she's absolutely fantastic. She's a great character because she's doing what she was designed to do even at C0, and she can still dish out some pretty decent damage at C0 as well. But the Raiden Shogun is just great, right? Because what the Raiden Shogun does, no other character can do. She is one of those characters that is obviously one of the things people point at the most is a battery. She is the best battery in the game, hands down. There's no argument. She batteries the team better than any other character. She gets ults off to where you're popping elemental bursts consistently, constantly, and it's non-issues, right? Even with characters that have high energy costs, it's a non-issue when you have the Raiden Shogun on the team. But not only that, her elemental skill is doing so much. And once again, I've said this in the past and I'll say it again, she has one of the best elemental skills in the game. And the reason being is because it's doing so much. It is providing coordinated attacks, so you're doing a little extra damage. It is also allowing your allies on your team's elemental burst to hit harder. That is a phenomenal utility to have on an elemental skill that I think a lot of people overlook or forget, because the elemental burst in the game of Genshin Impact is extremely valuable on just about every single character in this game. So to allow it to hit even harder, and it hits harder based off of the energy cost of your allies, so it means if your ally has a high energy cost, it's not necessarily a detriment because their elemental burst is going to be hitting even harder. And we've already spoke about the energy cost not being an issue with the Raiden Shogun because of how good of a battery she is. It's actually a positive in this aspect. So that is just phenomenal utility. And once again, no other character in the game of Genshin Impact can do that for your allies. So that's where her supporting capabilities come in, and she can apply the electro pretty efficiently with that elemental skill as well. Now, moving over to her elemental burst, it is once again arguably one of the best elemental bursts in the game because of the damage that it's doing, and the damage being dependent on, once again, the energy or the elemental burst of the other characters on your team. So depending on how many stacks you get is dependent on how hard the elemental burst is going to hit. It's just a very smooth and a very cohesive kit, right? Because the Raiden Shogun is providing energy to your allies so that way they can get their elemental burst off. So you're popping elemental burst off consistently and constantly, which is then giving you resolve stacks for your own elemental burst with the Raiden Shogun, which means you're going to be hitting even harder because you have more stacks or you have max stacks. And now your elemental burst is hitting like a truck. And then right there, you can go back into your rotations because now you're providing energy back to your team. And now their elemental burst going. It's just a very cohesive rotation. It has no hiccups. It has no speed bumps. And once you come back to your Raiden Shogun, elemental burst is ready to go once again. And you're popping that and you're hitting hard. And it's just a very nice rotation. That's why the Raiden Shogun fits on so many good team comps. That's why she is so valuable on those teams. That's why she makes those teams that much better, because of everything that she's doing. It's just an amazing cohesive kit. And I know it can be a bit confusing, especially upon her official release when she first came out, because it's a paragraph and a half, a few essays that you have to read. But once you understand the kit, which is pretty simple to understand once you get through it, it's fantastic. It's cohesive and it's a really good fit. Not to mention, the Raiden Shogun has an applicable artifact set in the Emblem of Severed Fate, so you know exactly what to farm, and it's easy to build her. She has a lot of great weapons that you can place on her as well, even free-to-play weapons, so she's very versatile in that aspect. I just can't say enough good things about the Raiden Shogun. And once again, if you don't have the Raiden Shogun, then I think it's an easy choice who you should go for. But that's once again if you're trying to decide between the two. If Kokomi is the character that you want, that you've been waiting for, that you have to have, by all means, you go for Kokomi and you grab her in her rerun, because that's the character that you want. But if you're on the fence of who to choose, or you're not sure who to go for, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's obvious. I think the Raiden Shogun is the perfect choice. And then if you want to get Kokomi on another rerun, because apparently they're bringing these characters back pretty consistently and pretty often, then you can go for Kokomi on another rerun. and pick her up at that time and then utilize her then. But that is just my 2 cents, guys. That is just my subjective opinion. That is just what I believe, and I want to get your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you would choose or who you would advise other people to choose when it comes to these two characters. Anyways, I hope this video helped. I hope it was a bit informative, and hopefully it made sense on why you would go for the Raiden Shogun over Kokomi. But anyways, I'm going to get on out of here. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. Literally, I do mean everything that you do. My name is Cody. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.